guy. Hey, where are we going?
Go and get some food, because you're fucking miserable without it.
Open the doors for me.
What the fuck? You have two hands?
Don't curse, we're vlogging. Face look like that.
Because I'm guilty, because we weren't meant to be spending a lot of money, but I couldn't help myself. We went to McDonald's.
How much you spent?
I spent $63.90 on the two of us. What?
Okay.
It's not that much, really.
This video should be good.
So I got a double quarter pounder with McChicken sauce, which is mayo and bacon. You got the medium McSpicy with, and then I got a McRib with mayo, and then I got a large boss combo with extra mayo, bacon, salt and pepper, and then I got a large fries, a large iced tea, and then a chocolate custard pie.
This video should be good. We need to earn money for this.
Did you want a chocolate custard pie?
Yeah.
Did you want your burger?
Yeah.
Did you want to try the McRib?
Yeah.
Then we're okay.
See you in our video.
Right, well, we've had lunch. I'm ready for a nap, but Lisa's forcing me to do this video because I've been pretty slack lately. We apologise for how long it's taken us to get a video out. The weather here has been terrible. It's been raining and windy and gnarly just all week, this week and most of last week, eh? So we're here, we're going to be filming a video on Macaws. Just a basic run through on housing, nest box design, breeding, pairing, compatibility, pet potential and all those sorts of things. There are a couple of species here and we'll run through those while we're here. So we're in the aviary with a pair of scarlet macaws, which you can see up on the wire up here. This pair was flocked and then re-paired off. The hen would be in her 30s and the cockbird would be 7. They haven't bred, the hen has bred well, but the cockbird hasn't bred yet. They've only been paired off for a couple of seasons so far. So you see she's already just popped into the box. This pair is looking really, really, really good. So you can see that box is mounted through the wall. It's mounted externally in the hallway. We'll show you that shortly. But we just wanted to run through some aviary design here. So these aviaries, I believe, are approximately 6 meters long, 3 meters wide by 3 meters high. They're all made with chain link security mesh and what looks like 40 by 25 mesh on the side panels between the flights. It's really important that you have that double mesh between the flights. You don't want toenails bitten or toes bitten off. Perches, you know, have several perches per aviary. It's important that they are the right diameter. The birds are going to get that exercise on their foot. You can see that there's a tree mounted in here with different diameter perches as well as the main perches on here as well. You can see this bird here, sorry, has become quite territorial and possessive of its nest box. These are all really good signs and show great potential for them hopefully breeding this season. It's really important when you're installing a nest box for macaws. Some macaws that are hand reared and tame will nest on the ground, but height is very important. So having a nice high box that's up away from everything is critical if you're wanting to successfully breed. Now we're going to show you inside this box. And hopefully there's no macaw there to grab me. There isn't. So let me show you what's happening in here. So you can see they've definitely been working the box. All of this is chewed off from the inside. Nest boxes here are 1 meter long with what looks like about 40 centimeters wide by 40 centimeters high. Horizontal boxes are probably the best for macaws. They walk in, and quite often macaws will actually mate inside the box as well. I've seen it on security camera footage that we've had mounted in boxes in other birds in the past. So it is important that that box is more horizontal than it is vertical, but making sure there's enough space for both of them to go in, as well as their chicks and eggs and their chicks as they grow. Our way into the flocking aviary. This is where all of the single birds are kept while they are maturing on, growing on, and pairing off. So in this aviary, I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 scarlets and 3 blue and golds. There's 1 male blue and gold, 2 hens, and then the rest, I mean, you can see just in this pair of scarlets right here, they've probably paired off. That's why they're sitting so close together. The blue and golds, on the other hand, have a bit more time on them. They've only been together for a while. The male's only been in here for a year or so, I should say, sorry. But it's really important, if you get the opportunity to flock your birds, to pair them off. This is the best way to go about it. You have far greater success in forming good breeding pairs that are compatible, that will do well for you in the future. When you're flocking macaws, it is really important that you have enough food for all the birds and some. You don't want them fighting over resources. So in this aviary, for example, having all these birds means that there's 2 feeding stations with copious amounts of food. So we've got some stainless steel trays there, and we've got another one down there. That means that the birds don't have to fight and squabble over food. It's really important that everybody gets their fair share. This is Coco and Divorcee. Divorcee is a pure scarlet macaw that's never been able to fly. He's always had something wrong with his wings, and he's never really been in good condition. He's never had that muscle tone from flying. However, he is a fertile male. He was flocked after he separated from his partner, and what ended up happening was Coco, who's this ginormous milligold right next to him, they took a shining to each other, and for the past couple of years, they've actually been producing fertile eggs. So this is their box over here. As you can see, it's an old wine barrel. There are many ways you can do boxes for macaws. I'm not even going to bother opening this. I think it's bolted shut. But just wanted to show you there are other ways. Once you've got a good bonded, legitimate, compatible pair of macaws, once they're of age, if you're housing and feeding and you've got all the right parameters for your pair, they will start producing. You know, we had a pair of blue and golds that gave us 12 fertile eggs one season. She didn't sit, she never sat, but she produced 12 fertile eggs. Just every couple of days was another egg and another egg and another egg. Watch your back, because Coco's coming. Coco's not a nice bird anymore. When she first arrived, she was as sweet as honey. Now she's as nasty as anything, and that's the one thing people seem to forget. I have a lot of people messaging me going, I want to get a pet macaw, and I want to have it as a pet, and then I want to get another one, and I want to pair them off and breed them, but I want to keep them as pets. This is what you will end up with. You'll end up with a bird that wants to take a chunk out of you. You feel like you're being cornered in Jurassic Park cornered. Now. Yeah, this is Jurassic Park. They're all very protective of their boxes. We can pop under and film from the other side if you want.
Okay.
All right. That once they pair off, like I said, Coco was as sweet as anything when she first arrived. Now that she's paired off with the male, she's comfortable. She's wanting to breed. She's wanting to do her own thing. She wants to tear chunks off us. She wants nothing to do with us. He's always been a bird like that, because he's always been a breeding bird. But she used to be a pet, believe it or not. And pet macaws, you can turn a pet macaw into a breeding bird fairly easily. They don't imprint as heavily as like the creaky doors you can hear behind us, the gang cockatoos. They imprint black cockatoos, white cockatoos, and some other species like African greys. They imprint very heavily. Macaws, for some reason, will always revert back to being breeding birds, given time and compatibility. We thought we'd touch on diet a little bit and what I personally would feed a pair of macaws. So I would always start with the fresh in the morning. So in here we've got some broccoli, and I like to give chunks personally. So we've got some broccoli, we've got some carrot, we've got some parsnips, there's some green apple, and then we've got all the sprouted seeds there. So there's mung beans, there's wheat, there's corn, there's all sorts of stuff in there, and that's the top flight soak and sprout mix. I would use the super sprout, but the super sprout at the moment is not being used at this facility. It's moving to soup and sprout soon. So I would feed that in the morning, first thing. This is what I would give a pair, okay? And then in the afternoon, I would then go out and I would give the dry food. So we've got a pellet, some tree nuts and some peanuts, and a dry seed mix down here. Okay, so the dry seed mix again is Top Flight Soak and Sprout. I've just used this as an example, but you can use a parrot mix, you can use a cockatiel mix, use whatever you like for a dry seed mix, but it's important for macaws that you give them the nuts. The tree nuts are very important. Peanuts, if you don't agree with feeding peanuts, you don't have to feed peanuts. We do here. And I believe this is also mixed with a little bit of coconut oil. Macaws require the extra fat. It's very important. And having a good quality pellet is just as important. So this is In Tune, Higgins In Tune. The colorant is natural, so the colors are made. So like red is beetroot, and yellow is turmeric, and red is beetroot, yellow is turmeric, and green is, I'm not sure, another vegetable. And the parrots all seem to really enjoy that pellet. It's fed out sparingly here. It's fed out as like an afternoon top up. I would actually use it a bit more, but it is good at putting on weight on birds that you don't want to get fat. So that's just a little touch on diet. Obviously, when you're breeding, you're going to increase the amount of food for chicks. But yeah, I sort of aim for between 10 and 15% of body weight is what I would give for food per day. So for example, if your blue and gold macaw weighs 1,000 grams, 1 kilogram, for Americans it's in pounds and ounces, I'm not working that out, then you're going to feed around 100 grams of food to 150 grams of food per pair per day. That's a full day's food. You will have wastage at that, but at least you're not underfeeding your birds. So we're going to talk about the pet potential in macaws now. Macaws can make fantastic pets. I've got a pet ruby macaw personally. The only thing that you need to consider with macaws is their size. They're no different than keeping a conure or anything like that, except they need a bigger enclosure. I would always recommend having an outdoor aviary if at all possible. Who wants nut? I would always recommend having an outdoor aviary if possible. Not only that, but noise plays a big factor. Their calls can be heard for a kilometre at least away on a still day. Wind can make that travel even further. Their bite is a lot more stronger than, let's say, a conure or even a cockatoo. They can do some serious damage if you're not careful. But all in all, they are, my ruby macaw just absolutely loves me. They are a one-person bird. They can tolerate other people, but on the general scale, they will bite if someone's around that they don't particularly want near their mate, and you do become their mate. You can manipulate behavior with training. You can also manipulate behavior with diet. However, what's ingrained in a macaw is ingrained in a macaw. They are pair bonding species. They will flock, but they are a strong pair bonding species. So yeah, I can't recommend macaws enough. I love them. I think they're great. There's 2 species in this aviary. We've got a scarlet that's just coming down to say hi now. We've got some scarlet macaws and we've got blue and gold macaws. Choose your species that you're intending on keeping as a pet carefully. Blue and golds probably make the better pet between the 2 species here. However, different species are different. Not species. Different parrots are different individuals. They're all different. They're all able to be trained in different ways. However, generally, a scarlet macaw is nippier. I had a scarlet macaw that used to love to come along and just bite me and then laugh and giggle, and then he would bite me again. So scarlet macaws tend to be a lot nippier than most of the other macaw species. Blue and golds tend to be the clownish ones. Then you've got your green wings. Here in New Zealand, the species vary. There are certain species that a lot of people don't see. So there are military macaws. Hey, big boy. Hey. There are military macaws here. Which means there are also millie gold hybrids. There are the mini macaws, so yellow-collared macaws and Hans macaws are in New Zealand. Very low numbers being worked on and bred by people, but they are taking time to become available on the market, especially for pets. Then we've got blue and golds, scarlets. What other macaws have we got available? Green-winged macaws. Have we got any others? Oh, I'm trying to think. I know. I'm sure there are other macaws here, but blue and golds and scarlets are the two most readily available at the moment, along with hybrids. So ruby macaw hybrids, millie gold hybrids, Catalinas, Jubilees, those sorts of things. They're fairly available at the moment. Hey girls. I do love blue and golds. Hey. Oh. And there's old big boy. He's a unit, this fella. Yeah. That comes to an end on our video. I want to say a big thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want us to continue making videos like this, you need to subscribe. The more people that subscribe, the more we can... I heard you. Thank you. The more we can do these sorts of things. All right, so keep an eye out. There'll be more videos coming. And they've got a lot to say about it, don't you? Hey, girls. Is that good? Can I have it? Oi, fucker. I was getting you a nut. There, see? How nice was that? Cut!